Oh, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to try something new here on my vlog. As you know, I'm a little bit new to vlogging, and one of the types of vlogs that I really love to watch are when people just do a weekly vlog. They film their week, they share bits and bobs, and I think that's something I'd want to work up to, but I don't know that I'm quite there yet, if that makes sense. So I thought what I would do is maybe share with you a couple kind of key standouts for the week, like 3 to 5 maybe key standouts on what were the highlights of my week, what did I get up to, what did I learn, was there anything really interesting and amazing going on. So this is going to be the first one that I try, so I really welcome your feedback. Want to hear if you like this format, hate this format, think I'm a freaking weirdo. All opinions are welcome. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, so the first thing I want to share with you for my week is on Tuesday, I happened to go to a kind of a professional event in the SEO industry with my friend Jen. It was something she was hosting for her company. For those of you who don't know me that well and are new to my channel, I work professionally in marketing. My specialty is social media. I've actually written 2 books on social media, one called The Power of Visual Storytelling and the second called The Laws of Brand Storytelling. So all things marketing are super interesting to me, and I love getting to go to events, especially areas of marketing outside of where I focus, because it's a great way for you to learn and grow. So my friend Jen was hosting an SEO kind of focused event with technical SEOs. So certainly definitely jumping in deep there, but I thought it would be a great way to meet people in the field, ask them some questions, and gosh, was it amazing. I ended up getting there kind of on the early side, sitting at a table with this really, really lovely woman who works for one of the affiliate websites. So affiliates are something that bloggers actually do when you know, say what you want to link to buy. If I tell you where this shirt is from and I can link to buy it, you might make kind of a commission on it, but the retailer gets a huge amount of benefits of kind of bloggers and other thought leaders really linking back to their website, and that's really huge in the SEO industry. So ended sitting right next to her, had the most fantastic conversation, learned so much from her, let alone the speakers on a panel, and I felt like, you know, it was such a good aha moment for me, because I was recently having a conversation with a friend of mine who's lived in London for a very long time, something like, I think like 10 years or something. And she was like, you know, you've only been here 3 or so years, but yet you've made all these friends. You always have stuff going on socially. You know, we're in our kind of mid-30s now, so I'm gonna be 36 soon. You know, and a lot of people are settling down and moving out of the city. How do you do it? And I think to me, that's one of the answers of how I do it. When I first moved to London, I just said yes to everything. I went to as many events as it made sense in my kind of busy professional schedule. And every time you go to an event, you have a chance to kind of network, maybe learn something, but then also maybe meet like-minded people, because the girl I just mentioned, we're gonna meet up for a coffee at some point, probably after the holidays, but still, you know, I really clicked with her and really just thought, you know, on a personal and a professional level, we could really get along and maybe hit it off as friends. So, you know, it never goes to show, you know, that you should kind of try to go to these kind of events, get to know people, maybe kind of grow yourself a bit professionally as well. So I think that was such a great aha moment, and I think a great takeaway from this week and a great lesson. All right, so tip number 2, or takeaway number 2, I'm trying to, still figuring this out. I'm just writing, I'm just speaking as I go. Tip number 2, or takeaway number 2 from this week is I actually discovered a really cool new bar in London, in King's Cross. So I was meeting another kind of professional industry friend that I had not seen in ages for drinks, and she was coming from Shoreditch, I was coming from Paddington, so we decided to meet up at King's Cross on a Thursday night after work. And if I'm honest with you, I just thought we could like rock up to a bar. There's so many great restaurants in King's Cross, they've really revitalized the area, but oh my goodness, it was just such a mob scene. And the place I had suggested that we meet was called German Gymnasium, and they have the loveliest kind of bar on the 2nd floor of the restaurant, completely packed, not a chance, and not even an area that we could really stand without being kind of constantly jostled. So we were like, uh-oh, what do we do? And my light bulb dinged over my head, and there was another place I've gone on a business dinner called the Great Northern Hotel. Now, the Great Northern Hotel has a wonderful bar in the ground floor. And I'll try and put some images here on left. This is kind of why I'm sitting a bit off center, but I'll show you some images here of the space. But the Great Northern Hotel is literally like a stone's throw from King's Cross Station. They have a lovely ground floor bar that's always completely packed. But those in the know, there's a restaurant on the second floor of the hotel called Plum and Spilt Milk. And I remember from when we had dinner there, we had a cocktail first. And they have this lovely little mini cozy like gin den of a bar that's just so chicly decorated and so warm. So I was like, why don't we go upstairs and give it a go and see if we can get a seat. We luckily, just as we were walking in, two tables at the little tiny bar freed up. So we had these amazing gin cocktails, and I always love trying different varieties of gin. So I'll share with you some images here of what we had. But the first cocktail I had was with Monkey 47, and it was just this wonderful kind of mix. It had raspberries in it and a little bit of grapefruit, and it was just this kind of sweet and tangy and refreshing kind of gin cocktail, and I love Monkey 47. And then the second one that I had, gosh, I'm not gonna remember the name of the gin, so I'm gonna put a picture of it here on the screen, but the reason why I gravitated towards it is it came with cinnamon sticks in it and dried apple slices, and oh my gosh, anything with cinnamon is like the way to my heart. So I had to have it, and I love the idea of getting those little cinnamon sticks and putting them into gin cocktails with those dried apple slices. So I'm definitely gonna have like a poke around the grocery store and see if I could find it. Because even if you couldn't, like, you probably could just take apples, like fresh apple slices from your fridge or some other kind of berries, and put them in with the cinnamon stick with the gin. I am totally making that at home, and I'm sure I will try and make that with my dad at Christmas, because I feel like he would just love that. We have very similar tastes in all things alcohol. So what a lovely find. And as if that wasn't already like a lovely evening, as we were walking out, we noticed this like dark and sexy like martini lounge opened up just next to this little kind of gin hideaway, and we did not notice it at all when we were coming up the stairs, but it's called Anthracite, and you can actually book seats at this martini bar on OpenTable. I mean, hello people, like nobody was in there. There were maybe it's like there's 2 rooms. There were maybe a handful of the tables filled, and it is like this dark, sexy, like black and gold kind of space with these beautiful, like tufted kind of grayish blue couches. It is just such a swanky like date spot, meet up with a girlfriend, kind of very Sex in the City kind of vibes. I can't speak for the cocktails because I haven't tried them, but I definitely am gonna go back and try this spot. And hey, you can actually book it on OpenTable. Like the amount of bars in London that you cannot actually book spaces at, I mean, this could be a serious game changer. So the more you know. I will be adding it to my London guide as well, which is linked on my blog, and I will link it below. Okay, so the third thing I wanted to share from my past week is, oh my gosh, so this might be kind of cringy, but I tried something new. I filmed my first ever clothing haul. I bought 200 pounds worth of things at H&M, mostly just tops and dresses. I really feel like I've been wearing the same 4 or 5 tops, and you know, with me being a business professional and someone who likes to kind of go out and see friends every now and again, I just felt like you can never have enough kind of cute dresses that can go from workday to evening after work. So I found a couple formal ones as well, but I found a couple workday dresses and a couple formal dresses, because when you see an amazing dress for 30 pounds, you just gotta scoop it up. I mean, there's just no not scooping it up. So I tried to film it here in my apartment. I'm sure it's probably a bit cringy, and I'll look back on it one day being like, oh God. Today, we are doing an H&M haul. Does anyone else think that I look like the blonde emoji in the red dress? And I think you just look really nice and put together with just a little pop of the lace coming out. Done. And does anybody else think that I look like I have burgundy lacy armpit hair coming out of my... What were you thinking? But you know what? One of the things I really want to do this year is do more with video content, both on my business channel about social media and the book that I've just written, which is called The Laws of Brand Storytelling. So, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, I want to try and play more. I want to get better at making videos. I want to see what kind of content people really like on YouTube and on social media. It's really great for me as a practitioner in the space just to keep testing, learning. And I think the best way you can do it is to be a practitioner, to put yourself out there, to make videos, to learn how to film them, to cut and edit them. You know, I've invested in a pretty decent camera setup with the Canon G7X Mark II, which is what all the vloggers use. I have a ring light, which is why I look very illuminated. So actually, if you want to see, if I turn, let me turn the light off. So if I turn the light off, this is what it looks like. I'm filming a video at, I think it's like 5 p.m. at night on a Sunday night. It looks pretty dark in here, and it gets dark at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the winter. So when you have a ring light, you can also still have natural light, but it also just gives you an option to, you know, just be a little bit better lit. And I don't know that it's necessarily like the most authentic light, but you know what? Better than nothing, and this is all part of the experimentation process here to see what works. So with that said, I will wrap up this video. That's my first kind of weekly vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I am gonna try and make more of an effort to take some video footage, even if it's just with my phone, going forward, so I can actually make it a little bit more vloggy style in between me just sitting here on the camera speaking with you. But with that said, if you like this video, please give this a like, leave me a comment down below. I really, really, really appreciate your feedback, even positive or constructive. Let's keep it constructive versus you suck at life kind of comments, because I think, you know, I think people who watch videos on YouTube don't really know how much it takes to film something, to cut and edit something, to actually upload it. So it actually is a pretty huge undertaking, and I try and make blog posts to go with each video. So it does actually take me like quite a few hours to make each of these small videos. And if you like this content, please subscribe to my channel, because there will be more of it coming, plus shopping hauls and I can't speak, some travel vlogs. So with that said, I will let you go, but have a great evening, have a great week, and I will see you next week.